All right, YouTubers. So this is all Mega Moto. I mean, Mega Moto, obviously not, but I mean this is forks are, fenders are, complete forks are. These are Mega Moto. However, this frame here is made by a company called Drift Hero. I believe they sell like this version of the bike to Princess Auto in Canada. So it's basically a Canadian frame, but I mean it's basically the same thing as the Coleman as well. But here's the deal. So I got the swing arm kit, right? You know, swing arm kit. There's the stuff down there. Ain't much to it for 300 bucks, but hey, you know, you gotta pay what you gotta pay. It's what they're charging, which I think is a bit much, because of this. So I've already installed it. I've got it on there. I mean, it's good. I got it primed up real quick. But here's the problem. It ain't that damn universal. You try to put this on there and it don't work. And I see people sitting here grinding this little point out right here. Look, folks, I weigh 330 or 230 pounds. I ain't grinding shit off that's gonna hold me up. So, yeah, there's little things. Yeah, I know I shouldn't have done it like that, but it's my bike. I pay for it, I don't care. So, what I did was, I went ahead and TIG welded this guy in. Ain't going anywhere. Let me get you a good. I don't wanna. Yeah, those are good welds, I know. But this is the solution. What I think I'm gonna end up doing is cutting these collars off here and just go ahead and completing it all the way around. But yeah, it don't fit. It ain't that universal. They, you know, they got it in their ad that oh, it takes a little more modification for the Coleman frames, which this is basically the same thing as a Coleman frame. How the hell do you modify that? You know what I'm saying? What, they want you to cut your frame open? No way. You're messing with little integrity that you got left. You already cut this big old chunk out of there. I mean, that's just ignorant. They shouldn't be saying that. I mean, I'm just saying they shouldn't do that. Either that or they should make another kit where they move this collar back probably about a 1/4 inch so people who need this particular kit can buy it. Yeah, I know these frames all vary and this and that. Well, if that's the case, you think they definitely move it back a little bit then. But yeah, so this is my build. I basically bought the frame and then bought every piece from Go Power Sports. I don't mind Go Power Sports, a little expensive. Not the most expensive, but a little expensive, but that's not what bothers me about them. It's their shipping time. I got the swing arm kit in probably 3 days, right? But let me see, what was it? A brake caliper, because this is opposite. So for the Mega Moto, the brake's going to be on this side, and you have a jack shaft that goes down the middle. I don't have that option. This frame does not have that. See that? It don't have it. So I have to have my brake on the other side. So like a dumbass, I went ahead and bought the 100 bucks for that thing too, man. At the end of the day, 100 bucks for one little brake for my rear brake. And then I had to buy this guy, which is the complete opposite of this guy. Let me get to it. So I could put it over there. And they kind of anticipated this, I'm assuming, because on this it had 2 tabs for the brakes. I cut that one down because, well, it's in my way. But this is the one that's going to be on the right side, which would be for the non-Mega Motos. And this is going to be for the Mega Moto side, which I believe that Coleman new one, that RSV or whatever the hell it is probably going to be over here as well. But these, so that's the Mega Moto. Just stay, bro. and then this is going to be the one for the Coleman. So this is Coleman, and this is Megamoto. It just won't stay. There we go. So that's the difference. And then I bought this bracket, which is for the Megamoto, so it's on the wrong side. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down, or I'll just grind it down till it's the exact same as this, put it on the other side, and then fill this in with washers, because I'm not buying no more shit. It's too expensive, and you know what, it takes too long for it to come in, and I can't even find it, to be honest with you. But yeah, so this will be my build. I went ahead and threw the Ghost in there. I know, so blah blah blah, over expensive, this and that, whoop the bam, don't care, it's my money. And of course we're going with a torque converter because that's the only way I can do it. So I had to use 2-inch risers, which I fabbed up myself, in order to get this in sync with this, with the back axle nut. So something nobody tells you about is you want to go ahead and have this guy in line with this guy in line with the axle nut, so that way when you're pivoting you don't get slack in your chain and it pops off. Either that, or you could just put a chain tensioner, but when that guy's in here, there's really no reason, there's no space for a chain tensioner anywhere. I mean nowhere. I mean, yeah, you could go into here, but this is, man, this is cheap aluminum. I'm not trusting that to tension my chain. Another thing was I got the I grabbed the Megamoto header pipe. Now this is Megamoto. Now this is a 212, but no, it don't fit. Once you raise that up to try to work with this swing arm, this pipe is no longer valid. This is what you get. That's what you get. It's not even close. Waste of money, more money. I mean, you think it would, but it don't. So I'm gonna have to figure something out for that too. I mean, I'm not knocking Go Power Sports. I mean, they do what they do, and they basically make their things for their particular model. Who's gonna fault that? I mean, I wouldn't either. It says universal kit. Maybe some fabrication required. Yeah, you got that right. But unless you can weld, the only way to get that in there is to carve this out. Or you could take, where is that thing? You could take this guy here, and you could take half of this off right here. I mean, you gotta go deep too. I mean, you gotta go like a, kind of like an orange slice or something. You know, this much, and then taking this much, and then it will probably seat down in there, and then you're able to clamp it. Or you can do what the other guy's doing, which I do not recommend at all. And they're grinding this out with a grinder, or a file or whatever. I mean, if you got just a little bit, you're just messing with this right here and going like straight down from this point here, that's fine. But I mean, when you start pulling into this tube here, and you're removing that tube there and this entire weld here, you're basically, all your weight's here where your ass is gonna sit. It's gonna be pushing down on this every time you hit a bump. You got this guy pushing up, which, I mean, it's pretty much, you know, secured to this little beam here, whatever you want to call it. So I mean, that's probably not a bad thing. But I mean, if you have any substantial size to you, like I'm 230, I don't trust that. Now, I was going to take this one off and then reposition it. Instead of like this, I was going to move it like this, so that gave me room, but that's a lot of work. There really is no way. I mean, you have to fab up a whole new piece of pipe, have it bent the right angle, and then you gotta, I ain't doing all that, man. That's too much work. So yeah, so what I did was I just went ahead and TIG welded it in. Yeah, I know, not the, should took more of that paint off of there, and I should have sanded it, but who the hell's gonna be looking at that? And I don't care. Yeah, let me see. Those are my welds. You just got TIG welded in there. It ain't going nowhere. Fine, and then every bolt I used on this build is 100% grade 8 bolts. I'm learning with these mini bikes, everything gets a little beat up and everything gets a little bit of some, it gets slammed around, vibrated, pushed. That's why Loctite, blue Loctite of course, not red. Don't let nobody fool you. Red Loctite. I was gonna put that guy in there. That's a let me see there. No, that's a 340 clone with a start, but I don't think it was gonna fit right. I mean, I didn't have enough, you know, like the Mega Moto, their plate goes all the way back to here. I would have had to weld another plate in here, and I just didn't feel like doing all that. And then get it in there, and it just didn't fit right or something. Plus, I mean, who needs that much? At the end of the day, that's a 11 horsepower 340 GL or GX 340 Honda clone. Puts out 11 horsepower. That's a Ghost engine, which is a 212, half the weight, not even, if maybe a quarter of the weight, maybe 1/3. I'll just be realistic, 1/3, and it's pushing about 11. I don't know, do the math. I need somewhere to put a gas tank too, and there's really not. I don't want to put one up here because I don't know, man. I just feel like, you know, I might have an accident or something, or if I got to stop real quick, I don't want to harm the berries, you know what I mean? Yeah, just pushing enough to where I can get a gas tank in there. I got one sitting over there under one of them boxes, in one of them boxes. But yeah, I had to put that up. That's basically what I did. I took some L line. Let me see, where is it at? I took this guy here, which is fairly thick. I trust it to hold that engine, and it ain't gonna tweak it. It ain't tweaking that, man. I don't know what the thickness is, but I basically took this and I cut it the same as, where are those things? I bought some motor mounts, some risers. I got these cheap ass risers right here. I don't like these. These are garbage. I don't like that concept right there. I want bolts. So, and I mean, really, I don't know what that is. I mean, it might be 2 inches, but I don't care. I don't like it. It's pushing my motor around, and I don't particularly like that. So I got these guys, but these are only 1 inch. I don't know, waste of money, but I got these guys. They were like 15 bucks on eBay or something. Put them in there. Now you can see that's not even close. So what was going to happen was it lowered this shaft here, and it was underneath this guy here. So when you looked at it, it went up and then down to my axle. So it was like this. So basically, every time I had any kind of flex, it was going to loosen my chain one way or the other. And yeah, I know, we're back to the chain tensioner thing, but I didn't want to put an extra part in there. You get more moving stuff you put on these things, the more problems you're gonna have. And chains, you don't want to deal with that, especially when you're out riding and you're somewhere and no, you know, and you ain't got no tools on you and you can't do anything. These are dope bikes. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I sit on this thing and I'm 6 foot, and my feet sit flat on the ground perfectly fine, and my legs are pretty much straight. These are big bikes, man. I mean, look, that's a 19-inch tire, 19 by 7 by 8, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so anyways, this is what I came up with. I don't think that thing's going anywhere. And then I used was that Go Power Sports, or was that, yeah, that's Go Power Sports universal plate, because I had to move the engine this way. So I don't know, they must have it set up. Yeah, these are got too much. But anyways, this is allows me to move my engine, slide it back and forth. I mean, we all know what that is. But yeah, so I'm just giving my honest review on this Disco Power Sports swing arm kit. I believe, I'm just gonna be honest with you, I like it. It's beefy like the frame itself. I think this is 1 3/8 diameter. I'm assuming that's the same, so it matches the bike. It looks good on the bike. It's not thin like this, it's thick like this. So I believe this is like 1 inch here, probably 1 inch, and then this is 1 3/8. I measured it. Yeah, it looks good. I sat on the bike when I had it fully installed, when I was just trying to get this all situated, and it's very comfortable, so I think it's going to be a beneficial part. However, $327 I think it was out the door, and that's plus shipping. That's a lot of money. Kids ain't got that kind of money. Kids don't have that kind of money. Go Power Sports, you hear? Especially when you can buy the RSV or whatever it is, and basically it's about $200 more than the hardtail of this version from Megamoto. So you do the math. I mean, yeah, you don't come with a Tilly, and that's a damn good engine. I don't give a shit, man. Them Hisen's are garbage. They're complete garbage. I mean, they run for kids. They're built for kids. For the guy who's just wanting to cruise around his property like a farm or something, perfect. But somebody who wants to actually go out and has a couple buddies, and you know, you get a little bit heavy on a foot, and you want to make sure that you're going a little bit quicker than them and this and that, a Hisen ain't the one. That ain't the one, I guarantee it. So this is my build. I'll cut y'all in when I get done with it. But so far, yeah, I didn't go with their grips. I went with Pro Taper. They're just better built. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on eBay you can buy. These risers here, I bought them for Go Power Sports. It took them 3 weeks to come in. I waited 3 weeks for this, and I had everything put together except for those risers. So it's kind of weird. The swing arm kit was here in 3 days. The risers took 3 weeks. I mean, you can't tell. You can't tell. I mean, yeah, they give me some cool stickers and stuff, and you know, their customer service, excellent. I actually had to call them because they forgot to give me these axles. These axles, where the hell is it at? Oh, there's one of the axles that's in there, and then the other one, oh, it's right there. Those axle bolts, they forgot to give them to me. All I did was give them a call, and they were here in 2 days. So it's just kind of, I don't know, it's iffy. Like even this, I bought these separate. I mean, like I told you guys, I bought the frame, and I did not. I put everything together. Every bolt that's on this is grade 8. Actually, that's grade 10. Dang it. Well, okay. Those are special bolts. But yeah, everything I bought. Let me show you. I just go to my local Menards or whatever, and I just buy these by the bag. 5/16" flat washers. Those are all grade 8. And then, because you know what, when you buy stuff, guys, nothing, they don't send any bolts with anything. Like I bought that caliper, no bolts. See, more grade 8. These are all grommets, little things. Bolts, grade 8. More bolts, grade 8. You want to have grade 8 with this stuff, man. I don't know, I do, at least for my big ass. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Some of this stuff, the swing arm kit is completely worth it if you can afford it. I think Go Power Sports ought to take that into consideration, that mostly people can't really afford this type of stuff. I mean, this bike's cost me, well, including this Ghost engine, probably about $1,500 so far, when I could just bought a new one for like 11, I think they are. But you're not getting that Ghost engine. But then, I mean, I don't mind the Tilly either. That's a great brand, but that's just your stock. So I mean, you're not going to get a slide carb, you're not going to get, you know, exhaust, you're not going to get, there's no governor already, it's already taken out. I don't even have to crack this case or anything. I mean, yeah, it's got a mild cam in it. I'd like to change that up. Probably change a crank in there. And then definitely the only concern I have with this particular engine would have to be the flywheel. You know, it's not a billet flywheel. It's a cast. You know what? This thing goes up to 6,000 RPMs. 6,000 RPMs. That means 6,000 revolutions per minute. Yeah, go ahead and let that thing break. That's probably the heaviest part of that motor, besides the, well, no, probably the heaviest thing was in that motor besides the actual block itself. And if that thing goes into pieces, it's going to char up. It's going to char it up, man. There's going to be a whole bunch of sharp little pieces, and they are going to hurt you. Your leg sits right next to it. This case right here, I mean, it might protect you a little bit, but I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. That's a concern. I mean, Harbor Freight should do a little better on that. But whatever, man. I mean, that's the fun of this. You know, you get to build your own thing, do your own thing. So, I just wanted to give my honest opinion on the, if you ain't got a Mega Moto 212 Pro or the Mega Moto 212, this kit is not bolt up, and there is some additional fabrication required. You're definitely 100% correct on that. Can your local kid, can your average everyday kid do that? Probably not. So, and I mean, can your average kid afford $327 to have it shipped to their house? Probably not. That's what they're paying for their bikes on Marketplace. You know what I mean? $500 and they're set, and they'll just take whatever they can get. Yeah, so I just think Go Power Sports ought to check your prices on some of these things, because I mean, yeah, I understand, you know, you gotta make a buck, but you're making a buck off kids. Not everybody's wanting to, you know, not all parents will want to fork that money over for a kid for something so trivial. They're just not gonna do it. I mean, don't like me. I'm 48 years old. I can do whatever the hell I want, so I will spend that money. But most of the time, nah, kids ain't gonna do that. They're just not gonna do that. But anyways, YouTubers, that was kind of my take on this. If you got any opinions or something, let me know in the comments. I mean, nobody watches my channel, so I really don't expect any comments, and I really don't, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you, I don't care. I've had this YouTube account for probably 15 years, and I put out, I don't know, probably 20 videos, and I think I've got like 3 or 4 views on each one. So my shit don't get seen. I don't know, I guess it's the algorithm. But in case you stumble across this and that's what you see, this is just my opinion. And then this here, I mean, I'm not sure. That was another thing. I think the Mega Moto has a beam that goes across right here, whereas this one does not. So this goes in between those. So I might just tack weld this in right here and then tack it on the other side, do both of them, because I don't want this to slip or go sideways. I don't see it doing that, but that's just another concern. I did have it back here, but it made it sit lower. Probably be a little more, well, my seat end's about right here. Seat ends here. So by being back, it does give me a little bit more, you know, a little bit more security of weight distribution, but at the same time, it shortens my length by about 1 inch. So I don't like sitting on the ground. I don't like it being so low. That's not my preferred thing. I was actually going to think about getting some different shocks, get some taller shocks, so it looks more like a dirt bike, like a little 2-stroke. Because this kind of sits mildly high. But yeah, okay. So guys, that's my opinion on the Go Power Sports MM212 Pro swing arm kit. It lists for $299 and it's $227 out the door, to particular my shipping, which is Chicago, from Texas to Chicago, so they charged me like 30 bucks. But all right guys, I appreciate you watching. If you got any comments or any kind of information, or you just want to just tell me how wrong I am about something, go ahead. I'll see you.